Monticello was the primary plantation of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who began designing Monticello after inheriting land from his father at the age of 26. Located just outside Charlottesville, Virginia, in the Piedmont region, the plantation was originally 5,000 acres, with Jefferson using the labor of enslaved African people for extensive cultivation of tobacco and mixed crops, later shifting from tobacco cultivation to wheat in response to the change in markets. Thomas Jefferson, born in 1743, was an American statesman, diplomat, lawyer, architect, philosopher, and founding father who served as the third president of the United States from 1801 to 1809. Jefferson's great contradiction is that he wrote the Declaration of Independence, declaring that all men are created equal, but he enslaved hundreds of people throughout his lifetime. Jefferson was rumored to be involved with Sally Hemings, a slave during his lifetime, meaning that he likely forced her into sexual relations without her consent. He is believed to have fathered one child with Sally, possibly as many as 6 children. The rumors about Jefferson never entirely disappeared, and in fact, in recent decades, they have come to be accepted as credible. And although he made some legislative attempts against slavery and at times bemoaned its existence, he also profited directly from the institution of slavery and wrote that he suspected black people to be inferior to white people in his notes on the state of Virginia. In 1769, Jefferson began building his house on the plantation that he inherited from his father, Peter Jefferson. He located it on top of a hill he explored as a child. The main house was still not finished 2 years later when he married Martha W. Skelton in 1772. He brought her to the South Pavilion, his bachelor quarters, because the house was not yet habitable. The newlyweds arrived on horseback during a blizzard. The original 8-room house was apparently still incomplete in the 1780s, but even so impressed European visitors with the sophistication of its design. Due to its architectural and historical significance, the property has been designated a National Historic Landmark. A few tidbits on Monticello, the house. There are actually a total of 43 rooms in the entire structure, 33 in the house itself. The house was built by local white masons, and their apprentices did the stone and brickwork. Local carpenters, assisted by several Monticello slave carpenters, provided the rough structural woodwork. One Monticello slave, John Hemings, who trained under the white workman James Dinsmore, became a very able joiner and carpenter. About 60% of the furnishings on display at Monticello are or may be items original to Jefferson. Other items are period pieces or reproductions of original pieces. Many people believe that Jefferson has never left his beloved Monticello, and they claim to see Jefferson's ghost wander in the grounds and also to hear him whistling, something that Jefferson was prone to do as he toured the property. If Monticello was the fulfillment of a dream of Jefferson's, perhaps he didn't want to walk away from it. Thomas Jefferson is reportedly a familiar White House ghost as well. According to some reports, Jefferson enjoys playing his violin and can be heard in the Yellow Oval Room It seems his visits to different places find him doing other things. Noted expert Hans Holzer investigated some tales of Thomas Jefferson's ghost in his book, Ghost: True Encounters from the World Beyond. After researching ghostly phenomenon at Michie Tavern, he was invited to visit Monticello, a regular haunting ground for the living Jefferson. According to Holzer's book, a psychic medium he brought in with him to Monticello felt Jefferson's presence in the room that served as his bedroom. She felt that he did a lot of late-night work in his room, which served as a working space away from other people in the home. The medium felt Jefferson's energy in the dining room, as well as that of many others. She had a sense of elaborate parties by candlelight in this room. When they moved to the South Pavilion, Jefferson's original small home, his presence was also noticeable to the medium. She felt a very personal vibe in this area of the property. The psychic at Monticello was spot on with her observations, from what those on the tour with her knew about the location and Jefferson's personal property. Because Jefferson died more than $107,000 in debt, his daughter Martha Jefferson Randolph and her son and financial manager Thomas Jefferson Randolph found it necessary first to sell nearly all the contents of Monticello and then sell the plantation itself. Before his death, Thomas Jefferson left explicit instructions regarding the monument to be erected over his grave. In this updated document, Thomas Jefferson supplied a sketch of the shape of the marker and the epitaph with which he wanted it to be inscribed. The first documented marker for Jefferson's grave was erected in Jefferson's family graveyard at Monticello in 1833. Here was buried Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of American Independence, the Statue of Virginia for Religious Freedom, and father of the University of Virginia. Because of these, he explained, as testimonials that I have lived, I wish most to be remembered. Why wasn't Thomas Jefferson able to find peace and walk away from his home? Perhaps it's because he didn't feel like his work on the house was finished yet. He did continue to upgrade the home for much of his life.